Junior Gabe Canaux. Gabe, you're now in your third year, of course, at Columbia. How has your fencing evolved during your time there? And I guess in particular, fencing with a team and in a five-touch format.
Well, five-touch format for NCAA's definitely changed my fencing a lot. Before coming to college, I'd like to say that I was better at 15 touch bouts and Ds, and doing pulls was a struggle for me. I was never very good at five-touch bouts or incorporating like basic like elements to like my five-touch bouts and just being able to rail them out to get to the end score. But 15 touches was good for me because I like to think that I'm a smart fencer and I tend to make good changes in the bounce. So when I'm given more time, it's easier for me to find out the adjustments that I need.
The length of the bout like gives you more time to analyze the opponent and pick it up. And do you feel like it's simply the repetition of doing these five-touch bouts, both in practice and then every week in competition, or has there been a very deliberate focus on your part to improve in that five-touch area?
Since I've been at Columbia, definitely five-touch bouts have, or my five-touch game has improved, seeing that majority of our practices are incorporate a bunch of five-touch strategies, what you should do in a 4-4 situation, what you should do when you're down by 1 or 2 touches and you only have 20 seconds left, a lot of situational bouting like that. And that has definitely improved my game because it gives you more time, or the practice and experience gives you like a better idea of what you should be doing in those situations.
And going into Columbia, having to adjust to that five-touch bout, what was like the biggest turning point for you, or maybe the most eye-opening thing that you picked up, someone shared with you something that allowed you to kind of make the switch from 15 to 5?
Well, the biggest change, or I'd say that what a good friend of mine, also two-time NCAA champion, Jake Boyle, told me that in five-touch bouts, and he is a great five-touch fencer, is that you should go in and have a set plan and set actions that you know that you're very good at, and that you know you can rail them out at not any given time, but at the right time during your bouts. And so because in five-touch bouts, it's hard to adjust because you only have 5 touches, so you have to just like let out like what your best action is at the right time, obviously not like randomly, and hopefully that like should generally carry you to like the 5 touches that you need. And then if like those don't work, then you need to go through some adjustment, but generally if you know when to use those 3 basic actions that you are very good at, then it should be fine.
In a previous interview, you shared with us some of the strength and conditioning that you're doing to help keep you strong. This year, looking like you're going to be the guy. One of the 2 qualifiers for the men's FA squad. These would be your first NCAAs. What do you need to do to have success throughout the season and potentially in March?
Well, for success, I'd say that I just have to stay consistent with my fencing, stay on an emotional basis to stay like stable, because I know in the past before mentally I say that my mental game wasn't that strong and that I could easily get psyched out, but that has definitely changed as I've matured at Columbia, and so emotional stability has definitely gotten a lot better, and that I'd say that in five-touch bouts that was one of the main things that definitely held me back.
In addition to that emotional stability, what's an area that you're still working on to ensure that come March, your game is as complete as it can be?
It's just honestly really to think about each touch as one touch that you need to get. Before, whenever I was fencing, I would always think about the end result. Like, okay, I need to get to 15, I need to get to 5. And when you think about each individual touch that you need to get, just like the next one touch that you need to get, it's a lot easier for you to focus on what you need to be doing at that one point in time, what your opponent is doing, and how to counteract whatever they're doing.
All right, best of luck with that. We look forward to seeing you this year.
Thanks.